Welcome to Florida Mint on Florida Man with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron, the podcast where Floridians discuss the crazy but true stories that always seem to take place in Florida. This is Florida Mint on Florida Man, the 80s edition.
80s. Welcome to the 80s.
Bang. Everything we cover today will be
80s.
About the 80s, from the 80s, what's happening in Florida
Skating
in the
rinks.
80s.
People being born,
Right.
Yeah, except for me.
except for Cam.
This is all
other
BC.
people.
I'm just going to let you guys know this is
BC
all
edition.
before Cameron.
Before Cameron.
I am not
How
going to
many
speak
years
the whole
before
episode.
Cameron?
I don't know.
So many years.
Yeah,
So
so many
many.
years.
Mm.
Josh and I were hanging out at skating rinks, chasing babes.
Chasing
Nice.
babes.
Cameron himself
So many 80s things.
was a babe.
Yeah.
Yep,
Not
stock
yet.
markets were binging.
But you know what we did have in the 80s?
Oh, news
We had headlines.
headlines.
Nice.
And I think we want to hook them, don't we, Cameron?
Let's hook them.
Let's hook them.
Okay, Florida headlines 80s edition.
80s edition.
All right, this comes to us from 1987.
Whoa.
Nice.
A man in Gulf Breeze, Florida, a Florida man,
Oh,
Okay.
that's a pleasant place.
Ed Walters, was reporting to news constantly that he was sighting UFOs
Like this guy.
Yeah, in Gulf Breeze, Florida. He kept seeing them. He got some photographs that he submitted to the newspaper,
Naturally.
and they had an expert come in, a UFOologist.
The news had an expert come in?
The news had an expert come in.
Well, I guess if you want a story to break.
Yeah,
This
you
is
want to
the
make
story.
sure it's credible.
You got to prove it.
Yeah, so they had a UFOologist.
Okay.
You know, a very common job.
Right.
I think I
Phone
know
book.
at least 4.
I'm sure you just opened the phone book.
Yeah.
Pay 6 figures.
Oof.
So they had him come in, and he said, "Yeah, these are credible. These look
Okay.
right. These
Wait,
look
he
good."
confirmed it?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's all I
a
need.
surprise.
yeah. Well, a few years later,
Okay.
a reporter, Craig Myers, looks into this and decides to investigate and says, "You know, you guys really didn't look into this how you should."
Okay.
Okay, so he takes it upon himself to try to recreate the photos,
Okay.
which he
Okay.
is able to do.
Okay.
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 He makes
He's
a
able
fake
to.
UFO.
Well, he's able to. I didn't say
This
that.
is years later.
I said he's able to recreate the photos.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. And he does this by using styrofoam models of UFOs that were found in Ed Walters' house.
Oh, my
The
Hold
original
God.
person that's
Hold on.
was seeing UFOs.
But has photo technology like taken off?
If you're going to fake it, why would you keep evidence on hand?
Oh,
You fake it till you make it.
I
guess
know.
so.
Well,
if you're
I don't
passionate
think
about something,
They were found in his attic. I guess he just planned on, maybe doing it again.
Before I was a podcaster.
It wasn't like, okay, let's do it, 3 or 4 times and then I'll be done.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
He
Yeah.
made basically like a history of.
Yeah, when you're addicted to, UFO photos,
Yeah, no,
you're
you-
addicted to for life.
Come on.
His catfish.
You don't get in and get out.
No.
They jump you in.
You're locked
and
in.
you get jumped out.
You're in for life.
Bingo.
Now, before I was a podcaster, I was a UFOologist.
Yeah.
And I
Okay, because
studied-
you got to take continuing education classes to keep that certificate.
right. My
I believe.
license gets renewed every February,
Oof.
and I know how to spot a fake UFO.
Yeah.
What
Tell
are
us.
just like you glance at it? Is it like fake currency?
The first
Or
thing
can
you look
just-
for is
boom.
is it sitting in someone's garage?
Okay,
That's
okay.
a huge red flag.
See, I wouldn't think
Yeah.
to
That's a
look for
huge
that
red flag.
immediately.
Is styrofoam a common? I mean, you're the expert. Is
Right.
styrofoam a common
No
material? that-
Aliens don't use styrofoam.
I feel
okay.
almost like we're insulting you by asking you questions. 'cause-
You are.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Go ahead,
thought so.
Cameron. Go ahead, Cameron.
All right. Next story. Florida man gave police
Yes.
his brother's name when he was pulled over.
Okay.
Okay.
Did they say, "Hey, what's your brother's name"?
Yeah.
Well, he was pulled over and he didn't want to give his own name because he had warrants out for his arrest. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
naturally, your first thought is, okay, I'll give him somebody else's name. So he
Right.
gives the police officers
Well, I think the police say, "Hey, what's your name or a relative
or another name.
Yes.
So he gives police officers his brother's name.
Uh huh.
Well, it just so happens that his brother also had warrants out for his
Okay,
arrest.
very
Worse
clever.
warrants?
I don't know if they were worse.
It's like
but
flipping a coin.
he was taken in. The man's name is Jacob Hizzle. Okay. He was.
Okay. Yeah, 90s slang.
Yeah.
I wanted to change my last name.
Well, his name was Jacob Hizzle. He was brought in. They booked him under his brother's name, Nathan Hizzle.
Okay.
But they didn't figure it out until they did fingerprints, and it came up as his brother.
Nice.
And so they ended up booking him on fingerprints.
What would his non-Snoop slang name be if his name was Hizzle?
Jacob, probably Higgins. Jacob Hizzleman Hizzle. But here's the thing, though.
Oh, jeez.
I think like if he obviously doesn't love his brother, because like why would you give him if that's your first reaction
Yeah.
to rat out your brother?
Well, I
like,
think he just didn't expect his brother to have warrants, so it was just like
I
you know, he's
guess.
just trying to give him a name that probably, if they had photos, would come up.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
true.
more like a Cain and
Similar?
Abel thing.
Yeah, maybe.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jacob and Johnny Hizzle.
I actually, this was a listener one. This one
Uh-huh.
isn't from the 80s. This was
Oh, come on.
recent. I took it from the future. So,
Okay, who
Sweet.
sent it
Love
in?
it.
Yeah, Tyler from Minnesota.
Is he from
Minnesota
the future
Tyler.
also?
Minnesota.
It does count though if Tyler was born in the 80s.
Yeah,
It counts.
Couldn't have
Tyler.
been. There's no Tylers.
That was a 90s
That was
name.
BT. Yeah.
BT. Yeah.
Before Tyler.
Yeah.
Those headlines, they got me hooked way back.
Way back.
And I love it. But I'll tell you what, and I've always said this, following headlines, I need to be broken.
Oof.
Let's break them.
I don't feel so good. So I got a letter,
Okay.
and it was from a listener. You know, when we got that stack,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
one of them, which prompted this whole episode,
Yeah.
was you guys were born in the 80s, right?
That's
No.
right.
I was not.
Oh, okay.
The bulk of us were.
The bulk of
Okay.
us, 2/3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys watched 80s cartoons, TV shows.
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the bulk of us did.
the bulk of us did. So
2/3.
if you were one of those TV shows and you were around,
Okay.
which one did you watch? And which one would you consider yourself?
Which, if I was an 80s TV show, which one would I be?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a character or a show?
If you had to hone it down to a character,
Okay.
you could.
Like what show personified me
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
80s?
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
got it.
Okay. I would like to go first.
If you already got it in the old chamber.
I think Magnum PI.
Okay.
I think the reason why I
That's
say
perfect, actually.
that is because, let me just list the reasons, okay?
You're
Yes.
unbuttoning your shirt. While
Yeah.
you don't have to.
I know, but I want to show you guys. I've got this chest full of man hair.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
All right. It's
Okay.
firm. It's
That's
tight.
a sponge from the kitchen.
Yes. I got a mustache.
You do have a mustache.
I've got ruggish good looks. I smell great. I've got great
You,
shirts.
you said ruggish. I think
Yeah.
rugged was what you're looking for.
No, ruggish.
He smells like a rug. He looks like a rug.
Yeah. Shop vac.
I think it just personified, I don't know, a fun dude
Yep.
driving around in cars.
He does
Yeah.
love Hawaiian shirts.
I do.
Okay. Yep. I
Yeah.
see it now.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. The muscles and the oil always glistening on your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of
It makes me
okay.
feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Miami
That's
Life.
me. Wayne's
Yeah.
Magnum PI. Who would you be, Cameron? If you were a show in the
Oh.
80s,
I don't even know why you guys are asking. I thought you would know.
he wasn't born, but go ahead.
I am obviously
Yes, definitely.
uh,
Okay.
Oh, here we
I
go.
don't even know what he's saying.
David Hasselhoff
Come on.
and Knight
Okay.
Rider.
Oh,
Knight
wow.
Rider.
Yeah.
Where did you think he was going?
I thought he was going Baywatch.
I thought he was going
Yeah.
Baywatch.
but Knight Rider.
Knight
Good.
Rider, bro.
Solid. Yeah.
We both went right for Baywatch.
Yeah.
Right. Because
So who's-
Well, that's because the abs. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's the better critique or judge of who someone is?
Wasn't
though?
Baywatch in the 90s, though?
it was.
But you
I-
can see where I'm going.
I see. It's hard to basically critique yourself.
Yeah.
So
It's-
whenever we say like we are a show from the 80s, it's probably best to have our co-host say who who do you personify?
It's these orange shorts that he comes in wearing.
Mm-hmm.
He wears really short shorts.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's always saying, "Hey guys, you can go for a dive in the pool."
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to save you guys' life like constantly.
Every day.
So Cameron is David Hasselhoff. I'm Magnum PI. Josh, who would you be in the
Easily.
80s?
You guys, you see the silver trench coat.
I see it.
You see the hat.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Mhm.
Okay.
You see the inventions.
Right. He
You
does.
see-
Yeah.
He does invent stuff.
He does invent stuff. He loves the 3D print stuff too.
Yeah. You see that guy that's always throwing bombs at me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So you guys, that's me.
I wasn't allowed to watch that show in the 80s.
I wasn't around in the 80s.
I think because the bad guy was like always in the shadows and like he sounded like kind of
YouTube
like,
though,
scary.
bro. You can still watch shows from the 80s.
Yeah, but
They-
why would you?
Oh,
It was a great. Don't you take that back?
yes.
Oh, well.
Inspector Gadget.
Now the 90s.
Okay.
Oh come
Okay.
on!
No.
Big cars, big,
Big
women.
women.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
biggest
Big
cars.
TV shows.
No, I love that question. I think mainly because when I think of the '80s, I think of the topic we covered a few episodes back with the supermarket sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right.
man, yeah.
That was Cameron's vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I do agree with
Pastels.
David Hasselhoff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, easily.
The rest of the episode, I want to call Cameron the Hoff. Can we do that?
Please.
Cameron's the Hoff.
Yeah, please.
All right. I love it. Well, I feel broken.
Let's
I
get
feel
to the
oh,
story.
so
Good deal. Yeah. Rad.
You breaking out your 80s?
Yeah. I wrote
vocab?
some down.
Okay.
I'm probably just gonna smoothly insert them. You guys won't even be able to tell.
That was
when
super
I
smooth.
I'm ready.
Do
I do have a story though.
choice.
So Donald Wayne Johnson was born December 15th, 1949.
1949. Okay.
Ace.
That's 60 years? No, 70 years.
Yeah.
49?
70.
Give or take.
Yeah. We'll go with you.
He was born to a poor family. His mother, Nell, was a hairdresser, and his father, Fred, was a farmer.
Okay.
Farmer
Okay.
Fred.
His parents, his mom was 17 when he was born. His dad was 19.
Modest.
Ooh.
So super young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they had Don.
Well, what else did you do in the 40s?
Right.
Farmed.
Yeah.
Farmed or had babies.
Yeah.
Two things that grow.
Cameron's always, I'm sorry, the Hoffs always said that.
Choice.
So Don was raised in poverty in Wichita, Kansas. Not a lot of opportunities. And in fact, he always kind of felt like he never fit in.
Oh, grody.
Yeah. I think it was mainly because of the financial discrepancies between his friends and himself. Super poor guy. And so he wasn't very popular in school, and he wasn't very good at sports.
They call him Spaz, probably.
Yeah. Hey, Spaz. But around the age of 13, he took a liking to the theater program at his high school.
Poser.
Yeah.
Right?
And so this kind of spurred a passion in him because he was really, really good at it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a poser.
Not a poser.
No, he was the real deal.
Scratch that one from your list.
Now,
Okay.
keep in mind, this is a small high school, so it's not like it's got some nationally known theater program
Or the
No.
preps and
or
the
anything like
jocks.
that. Right. But this kind of led to some issues with his father and him because, like, they
Okay.
basically, I think his dad was a farmer and was like, okay, well, this is what you're going to do when you grow up
Yeah.
because we don't
Yeah.
have any money, so you'll
Yeah.
do what I did.
And that thing you like doesn't exist to you.
Yeah.
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 So because his father was a farmer and basically working really hard to make ends meet,
Mm-hmm.
they just kind of assumed that's what Dom would always do. But then when he took up theater acting, like he became really, really passionate about it. So his dad and his mom kind of saw it as a distraction from like, from responsibility and what you should be
He's like,
preparing
"Dad,
yourself for.
Take a chill pill.
Right. But nonetheless, Dom was laser focused and he knew exactly what he wanted to be when he graduated. So when he left high school, he went to the University of Kansas, but dropped out his freshman year. And he moved back home kind of long enough to reconcile with his dad.
Ace.
Well, his dad's okay with it because he failed.
Well, I think
He thinks he's getting his farmer son
Oh.
back.
kind of. He actually didn't go
Right
to
on time,
He
right?
didn't go to Kansas to act. He just kind of went to the University of Kansas, basically to get a college career,
Okay.
college degree.
Okay. And maybe to get a little bit distance.
Well, I think so, but
Okay.
he flunked out and came back home.
Oof.
But the good thing is at this time is kind of like when he and his father reconciled.
Gotcha.
I think he told his parents like, "Hey, like I know like this isn't what you saw for me in the future, but this is what I really want to do." And the cool thing about it is like his parents, they were kind of young.
Okay.
So
okay. They
they were-
matured a little.
I think so. And they were like, you know what? We were wrong. Like, we don't have any money to give you.
This story's suspiciously good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But,
Right
we,
now?
but we
It's
support you.
a
We
little
want you to do well.
This is
Okay.
like everyday life.
Yeah, how
Right.
do
A lot
you
of
riff
people.
on a good story right
I
now?
know. So basically, they tell him, look, we can't afford to send you there, but if you want to move out to California to pursue this, we support you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that same year, Don packs up his things and he moves to San Francisco.
You don't turn down that offer.
No.
You never do. So there's this kind of common knowledge that life in Cali for aspiring actors is really difficult,
Okay.
right? I mean, like
Uh-huh.
it's the rent's high, the work is low paying, and it's
Yep.
inconsistent.
Yeah.
So like very
Well, there's
few
just
people,
tons of people.
right? Exactly. Like very few people
Yeah.
actually make a living.
And they're all saying, yeah, I act.
Right. Sure. Exactly. So Don had a few gigs, but they were mostly low budget movies that never even made it past production.
Oh.
Like they didn't even make it to television. He did a few commercials, and eventually he was getting ready to give up and move back to Kansas
Uh-oh.
when he
No.
meets a guy named Sal Mineo.
Okay. Hopefully this is what he needs.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sal was a child star who had a huge career in the 40s and the 50s, like mostly black and white films.
Hey, man, I know what about them 50s, baby.
50s,
Yeah, amen.
Time to be alive. Sal knows.
So these two hit it off. They become best friends. And Sal tells Don, look, I'm semi-established. Like, if you want to live with me, I won't charge you rent until you get on your feet. I'll help you get some gigs, and then you can start paying rent. And so he does that. And
It's common, probably common, though, thing to have.
It's real
offer.
nice
to have a real nice
offer.
roommate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one night they're hanging out, and they decide to order a pizza. It's like a Friday night.
Yep.
Sal goes out for a smoke and never comes back in. Don and a few other people in the apartment complex go looking for him, and they find him dead in the
Oh,
alleyway
jeez.
Oh,
behind the apartment.
Okay. That took a
ordered from the
turn.
wrong pizza place. Am I right?
Hello.
Actually,
Oh.
the guy was posing as a pizza delivery man
Oh,
to try and rob Hollywood actors.
What?
And he, Sal, fought him and he stabbed him in the alleyway behind
What?
the apartment. Yeah,
jeez.
100%.
Well, how did he? Okay.
What is
Oh.
happening?
He took the gig, I think, with the intent on robbing somebody. Like
So he actually was a pizza.
temporarily, like
Okay.
I bet he was waiting for like the right
So
neighborhood.
some
to
would
call
say
in.
he was
What
the better
the-
actor.
Oh, my
dang.
goodness.
The
what's
Hoff,
hap-
man.
The Hoff.
The
Only the
Hoff has
Hoff.
those. He
Only
knows
the
it,
Hoff
man.
has that.
So naturally, this does a number like on Don because
Wow.
he just lost his best friend.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's already not getting work in LA. He kind of wants to go home. And so he calls his agent and he says, look, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm leaving California. I'm going back to my parents. And his agent pleads with him. He says, look, I know you're tired of doing TV pilots, but I've got a gig for you. It'll get you out of California. And I think it's got some legs. It's going to do really well.
Okay.
It's in Miami. And,
Okay.
and he's like, you're going to have the lead role. So Don hesitates, but he knew he wanted to leave LA.
Yeah.
But he still wanted to act.
Okay.
Um,
This is like when you call, your internet provider and you go, I'm going to leave. And then they go, no, I got you a better price.
Yeah.
Right. This is exactly what happened.
What?
He calls his agent. He's like, my best friend was just murdered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
leaving.
he lost
And
his
I'm
favorite
leaving.
pizza place.
You better go. The Hop's on fire. So he says, like, I'll do it. I'll take the gig. And so he moves to Florida to star in a show called Miami Vice.
What?
Goodness.
So Miami Vice, if you know
Okay.
anything about the 80s, it's freaking huge. It basically changed culture for that entire decade.
And speedboat sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Don't even.
Huge.
That
So-
that was supposed to be a joke.
I
I hate
know.
when my joke turned to facts.
Listen, it's so true though. It was a standard police procedural show, but it relied heavy on new wave culture, like bright neon colors, pop music.
Yes.
It was
Yes,
a trend-setting
we're
show.
familiar.
Like
Yeah.
everything about the show was trend-setting. In fact, there were artists who basically had their careers kind of hesitate a little bit,
What?
but then their songs would appear on Miami Vice
Oh
and they
my
would receive
God.
a boost.
Explode.
That's the way
Nice.
to do it.
So, for
Yeah.
example, Tina Turner and Phil Collins both
What?
received a huge boost in sales.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was probably it.
I
That was
know.
probably everybody loves them drums.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is that artists who had their songs on Miami Vice, not only did they have a huge boost in careers, but they kind of got to become a part of this pop culture sensation.
Yeah.
And so what this show did was basically, again, just it shaped the culture for that entire decade. So
Man,
So
I don't think a
this
lot
is
of
the
shows
lead
get the
star?
opportunity.
Don Johnson is he's the main
Okay.
guy in Miami Vice, and so naturally,
I've never seen it. This is BC.
this is before,
Of course.
this is BH before
BH.
before the Huff.
Yeah, but probably black and white days before.
Yeah,
right.
BC.
I'm sure.
So naturally Don Johnson becomes a megastar internationally because he's the face of this show.
Yeah.
You've got guys in New York and California who are trying to dress like folks in Miami because they want to be cool like Don Johnson,
yeah.
right?
The style's coming that way for change.
Well, yeah, if you were a dude in the 80s, you wanted your clothes and your hair to be like Don. That's just how it was.
Naturally. Oh, yeah. The Dawn times. Yeah.
Well, this is huge, though, because this kid's a farmer, right? He's a poor kid.
Jeez.
He's got no work in California, and all of a sudden, like, basically over the course of a few months, he's on the face of everything. Like, he is, like...
Unreal.
Yeah, Don Johnson. He's male in the 80s personified.
He's the Powerball winner of Hollywood.
Sure.
Because that's some odds, right?
Yeah.
Rags to riches.
Mm-hmm.
The downside is usually when someone kind of goes from super poor to like world famous,
They lose it real quick.
they don't really handle it very well, right?
Just like a lottery winner.
Yeah,
Sure.
amen. That's
Yeah,
right.
That always goes really poorly for people.
Within the span of a year, Don was married twice, and both marriages were annulled in a matter of 48 hours.
What?
That's how you find out the quickest, though.
Was he in Vegas?
Well, both of his wives were dancers in Miami.
Nice.
Okay, but they're ready for commitment. They usually
Yeah.
people retire to Florida.
But it probably means he was in a club dancing, having a good time.
Yeah.
He-
Yeah, basically, and was like,
Okay.
"I love you, marry me." And they were like,
Okay.
"Is Don freaking Johnson? Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
marry you."
yeah, salsa class, I assume. These are
Probably,
salsa
yeah.
dancers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dancers.
Yeah.
I winked at Josh.
Yeah.
What?
He ended up marrying a third time and had a really long relationship with actress Melanie Griffith.
72
Whoa.
hours. Am I right?
Yeah, this lasted a week. No, it went on for decades actually, and they had a daughter together who's actually an actress now. Her name is Dakota Johnson, and she's from 50 Shades of Grey. That was like what launched her career, and now she's done a lot
She's
of
the
stuff.
main
That was-
actress,
that was her big
Dakota
break, yeah.
Johnson.
I don't think I've seen her in anything.
But in this time period, in the mid 80s, Don decided, kind of like you do when you're rich and famous, that he didn't want to just act. He wanted to try his hand in singing as well.
Naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had done-
So he's got genetics, acting skills, and handsome skills.
Sure.
What do you think of his odds are singing skills?
Well, he had 5 chart topping
No.
singles.
Oh my
I'd
gosh.
say they good.
No. Jeez.
In fact, his songs were so popular that he went on to write a lot of songs for other people.
Okay. So his brain works too.
He did collaborations with the Allman Brothers and B.B. King,
Wow.
Okay.
which are like, and his songs
He's
are very
likable.
like,
Great.
his song, yeah, Don's songs are very traditional 80s. Like you could pick him out of a lineup, like he was like 80s pop. So the fact that he's like crossing over to other genres to write music is just shows you how impressive he was as an individual. But his song Heartbeat, it was featured on Miami Vice. It stayed on the charts for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That's impressive.
A well-rounded, likable guy from humble beginnings.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he's hot as fire. He's doing modeling gigs. He becomes the face for Versace, Rolex, and Ferrari.
Okay.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Okay.
We've all been there.
Oof.
So he's like all these big names, super fancy brands. Like this is who
What
Don
age
Johnson
is this guy now?
personifies. At this point, he's in his early 30s.
Okay. As a guy who's turning mid 30s, this
You getting jealous?
yeah. No. I mean I went through those years.
Sure.
Everybody has.
We
you know.
had him in our 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to get back to Josh's earlier point, Don Johnson got so wild rich that he starts buying speedboats in bulk.
Okay.
In bulk?
In bulk.
Yeah, you get better deals
That
on
just seems inconvenient, though. Like,
It
what do you
does.
do with them?
But what's funny is when you, like what Josh was saying, when you think about Miami culture, like Miami Beach, you think about Ferraris, nightlife, and like when I picture the beach, I picture speedboats, just
Yeah.
kind of like
going by.
everywhere,
They have
right?
to be supposed to block the sun if it's when you choke the deers.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
know.
basically, between filming a show and recording his albums, he decides that he wants to take up competing in speedboat racing.
Okay.
Speedboat
Yeah.
racing.
Yeah.
Yep, I get it.
I mean, he
Transition
has
there.
enough of them.
He's traveling the world competing in these tournaments. He goes on to win major
jeez.
championships, including the World Powerboat Championship in 1988.
Okay.
Which he
Okay.
invented.
No,
Yeah.
he's the #1 powerboat racer in the world. At the same time, he's got a #1 single on the charts.
Oh my
And the
gosh.
hottest television show.
Some people hate him.
on the planet. So he was the first and only Hollywood star to ever do this.
Yeah.
And in fact, he became so passionate about the sport, he actually pioneered the advancement of the V-shaped hull and the twin hull boating
Cool.
technologies.
Okay. Okay.
they didn't
I get it.
exist until this guy basically said, I think we can do boating better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he helps kind of invent new technologies. So
Yep.
he's not only changing how the sport looks and making it cool, he's actually technically changing the sport itself, like making it
The
more
big
efficient.
reveal, he's Jesus.
Don Johnson.
He's the second coming.
Right. So since the 80s, Don Johnson has gone on to star in multiple hit movies and television shows. In the 90s, he starred in a show called Nash Bridges, which was
I've heard
on
of this one.
for about 8 years. And he's currently starring in a show called Blood and Oil on NBC, I
Okay.
believe, one of the big four. But he's got business interests and properties all over Florida. And in fact, he had actually said recently that he couldn't imagine himself living anywhere else but Florida, that he basically owes the state his entire life, his entire career, which I think is fascinating because honestly, like, I think we owe a ton to this guy as far as like making Florida cool, I guess. Like when people think of stereotypical Florida stuff, they think about that image that was portrayed from Miami Vice a lot of the times, you know, like it's the wealth, the palm trees and so on and so forth. And so his image, his culture actually is kind of what inspired like our logo and kind of our whole vibe.
Sure.
So just a mega cool dude. And I think it's also kind of encouraging that he did come from like a really humble, poor background.
Kansas.
Yeah, right.
From Wichita, Kansas. Now, you guys didn't know I had a solid Kansas accent, but I just did it.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
yeah. We don't give you enough credit for that.
Thank you.
Actually, I think I was just in shock that you pulled it off so well. I
Yeah.
figured,
You thought it was Don from the 80s in
Man.
Kansas.
Uh-huh.
I bet his parents were just floored.
They're like, is that Lil Donnie?
Legend
Donnie?
goes that Wayne was conceived during Miami Vice.
Hey.
During
That
an
is the
episode.
rumor and
Yeah.
the newspaper article.
I was
does
born-
So
highlight that.
we would. It's another reason to thank Mr. Johnson for all that he's given to this podcast.
Wow.
I was born on a speedboat.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I've
yeah,
always said that.
Yeah.
My dad always said that.
That's what the mural when you walk in your house shows.
Right.
Which is odd, but
I know. This
Being
is
born on a speedboat.
because my mom. We hit the wave and the placenta went up in the
that's
air.
what the new
Yeah, it
new
was gross.
generation's doing.
Jeez.
Well, I think it's been a great week,
Yeah.
and we've been here hanging out with the Hoff all night long.
Man,
You're welcome.
blessed.
And
Love that.
we appreciate all the fan questions. And we had so many concerning the 80s. We thought it'd be fun to do an 80s themed episode. And so on our website, fmofm.com,
Trashjams.com,
if you
always.
like what we do and you want to support the show, we have a button at the bottom that says donate to the show. And it really
Yes.
does help a lot.
And people asked us to put another button.
Right.
Hate. If I don't like the show, can I donate also?
Right.
Yep.
So if you love the show, you can donate with the love button. If you hate, you can donate with the hate button.
Yeah.
And our social media is FMOFM Podcast across all of the platforms. And we love you very, very much. We're going to have the Hoff sign us out.
Let's go get in kit. Blow this joint. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.